Greetings, YouTube world. So, what is a port number? A port number is a 16-bit unassigned integer that is used to uniquely identify specific network processes or services running on a computer or network device. They are essential for communication between devices on the internet or other networks, as they help differentiate between multiple connections or processes occurring simultaneously on the same device. Port numbers range from 0 to 65535 and are typically categorized into three main groups. Well-known ports range from 0 to 1023. These are assigned by the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, or IANA, to widely used protocols such as HTTP, which is port 80, HTTPS, port 443, and FTP, port 21. These port numbers are reserved for specific services and are well known across the Internet. Registered ports, which are 1024 to 49151, are ports that are assigned by the IANA to specific applications or services, but they are not as widely known as the well-known ports. And these examples may include MySQL port 3306 or PostgreSQL port 5432. The third type of port is dynamic or private ports. They run from 49152 to 65535. These ports are not controlled by the IANA and are used for ephemeral connections or temporary communications between devices or applications. Operating systems usually assign these port numbers dynamically when needed. By using port numbers, devices can manage multiple connections and processes, ensuring that network messages are routed to the correct server or application. And what we'll do here is we'll list some of the most common ports that you would need to know, especially if you're studying for the A+ or Network Plus exam. And it's good to just have this knowledge in general, especially if you're working in a well-established IT department. So for starters, we have port 20 and 21. That's used for a file transfer protocol, otherwise known as FTP. And this uses the TCP protocol. And then we have port 22, which is secure shell. That uses the TCP protocol. And next we have port 23, which is telnet, known as telemetry remote login, a very unsecure system to use. It also uses the TCP protocol. Then we have port 53, which is DNS, the domain name system. Uses primarily UDP, but sometimes TCP. Next we have ports 67 and 68, which is used for dynamic host configuration protocol, DHCP, which uses UDP in conjunction with DNS on layer 4 of the TCP/IP model. Next port we have is port 69, which is the trivial file transfer protocol. And that uses UDP. And then we have the ever-present port 80, which uses Hypertext Transfer protocol, or rather it handles HTTP. That runs on the TCP protocol. Next we have port 110, which handles Post Office Protocol, or POP3. And that also runs on TCP. Next we have port 143, which is IMAP, or Internet Message Access. IMAP 4 is the latest version. The A+ exam and CompT still use mail for internet mail access, but most people say internet message access. That protocol also runs on TCP. Next port we have is port 137 and 139, which is the network BIOS, or basic input output system, net BIOS. That runs on TCP. Then we have ports 161 and 162. That is simple network management, SNMP. That runs on the UDP protocol. And there is now, of course, port 389 is lightweight directory access protocol. That runs on both TCP and UDP. And next we have port 443, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, HTTPS. Was becoming the most widely used port on the internet, of course. And then we have port 445, which is server message block common internet file SMB CIFS. That also runs on TCP. And finally we have port 3389, which is the remote desktop protocol, RDP. That also runs on TCP. So these are, by no means not a comprehensive list of all the ports that are out there, but these are kind of the top ones that you would want to familiarize yourself with. So bust out the index cards and use the old flashcard system to get familiar with these. They're good to know, especially if you're studying for the exam. Thanks, and of course if you like this video, like and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.